All right, 1, 2, testing. Hello and welcome to Mothman's Bookshop. My name is Nicole, and today I'd like to tell you a little about what I've been up to these past couple months. Now, as we all probably noticed, I kind of fell off the map, and I apologize for that. Please forgive me. I just had so much going on, especially with work in the summer and starting college in the fall. It has been so crazy in both good ways and bad, mostly good ways, so don't worry about that too much. But I'm here now. I'm back, I'm finally recording again, and I genuinely could not be more exciting. I have thought about it so often these last couple months, and I'm always saying, oh, I should sit down and record, but then I get distracted or I get sidetracked or I remember about an assignment I had due. So apologies for that, but I'm back. I'm here now. So let's just chat a little bit. Okay, I guess we should start with what I have been doing since, July 7th, 2022. That's the last time I posted something. Rest of the summer was great. Met some new friends, made a lot of great connections. Started college in August. I am a proud student of college at City in State in country. But yeah, I started college. I am an education major, and the classes have been great. Honestly, I'm taking a lot of very interesting classes like Intro to Special Education, math. There's this class about learning math from essentially a teacher's perspective, which is very interesting because it often brings up a lot of points that I never noticed as a student learning this math. So it's always interesting to learn sort of a new perspective. Next semester, I'm going into the classroom, which I am so excited for and a little bit nervous. I definitely have experience in the classroom, but it's very different when you're doing this for a future career. But yeah, that being said, I'm very excited, so stay tuned. I don't know, maybe I'll update you guys, be like, hey, the kids are making me lose my mind, but it's fun. So we'll see about that. In case you haven't noticed yet, this episode is entirely unscripted, so it will be me rambling for probably around 6 minutes, I want to say. I don't know. Place your bets as to how long this episode will be because, well, you'll see it, but I'm placing my bets. Well, let's go for around 6 minutes. But that being said, I pretty much just got myself together. I said, all right, this has gone on long enough. You have poured your heart and soul into this podcast, and you need to actually post on it. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm recording. I am getting myself back into podcast mode. I am regaining my podcast voice. You might notice that I sound a little bit different. This is how I usually sound. I don't always sound like this, especially when I'm not talking about books actively. But yeah, this is pretty much how I normally sound. I'm a little bit quieter because it is late and I'm recording this, but I'm recording nonetheless, and that's what's important. Aside from that, back to college, I guess, and how that's been. It's been very chaotic. I mean, I've met so many genuinely amazing people. I've found essentially a whole different community to what I had in high school. I really don't keep in touch with many people from high school anymore, but here I really do think I found my crowd, and it's so great to just have that. If you are a student in high school who feels alone, I promise when you get to college, you will find at least a couple people who understand you. I always felt like I was a little bit too chaotic for the people around me, but here I have found people who were just as, if not more chaotic, and that is something that's sort of a unique feeling. It's something that you don't entirely expect, and when you do find it, it's a very liberating feeling in a way, because you can kind of drop a sort of mask that you've built in high school. But yeah, no, I really do think that I found some amazing people, and if you're listening, you know who you are, and I love you guys so much. Thank you all for supporting me throughout some things this year. If you know, you know. If you don't, that's fine too. It's been interesting. We hang out super often. We went apple picking one time. We went to the aquarium once. We're playing a potluck soon. So, things are going great. I don't want to jinx it, but it has to be said. It really does have to be said, because I feel like there are some people who need to hear this, who are nervous for college, or maybe who are nervous to leave high school and leave their friends behind if that's something that's happening, like if you're moving to another state, and I don't know. But yeah, I think it's just nice to hear that everything should get better. I'm not going to say it will get better, but it should get better. I believe in you guys. What next? What should I talk about next? Let's see. I know. This is a book review podcast after all. I have continued reading books. I did not read as much as I would like to over the summer, but I have read how many? 3 books? I think 2 full books. I'm on my 3rd right now. But first I read The Last Romantics by Tara Conklin. That is a tale of a poet sort of recounting the story behind one of her most successful poems, and it really is a story of how do I describe this? It's a story of familial love and familial heartbreak. It's that feeling of, or not that feeling, it's a story about what it's like to go through and process grief at a young age, what it's like to be raised by your siblings. It's fiction, but it's about what it's like to be raised by your siblings, what it's like to drift away from them, drift away from people in general, what it's like being less successful when compared to them, more successful when you're compared to them. And it really is a tale, at its core, it really is a tale of family love and family heartbreak. That's, I think, the best way I can describe it. And let's give it, what would I give it? Solid 4.5 out of 5. I think I'm docking a half point because when it cuts back to the sort of present, to the poet who is one of the sisters in this family, telling her tale about this, there are some moments that I'm not super into, but that's okay. Let's go with a 4.5 out of 5. The other book I read was The Body in the Library by, say it with me, Agatha Christie. I think I mentioned it in my Murder of Mr. Wickham review. If you remember that, I mentioned that I would like to read it, and I have. So let's talk about that now. Alright, so The Body in the Library by Agatha Christie. It is a mystery, as you would expect, about a body in the library. I mean, there's not much to say about it. It is one of the Miss Marple mysteries, and if you don't know who Miss Marple is, she is one of those recurring detective characters in the Agatha Christie universe, similar to Hercule Poirot, and she is this super sweet old lady who likes to get involved in local mysteries. She is a wonderful detective. She uses a lot of her sort of feminine knowledge, I would say, in her detective work, where she uses things that she observes among other women, among her own behaviors, and uses that to solve mysteries, especially when it comes to looking at women who could potentially be the murderer. And I thought that was very cool. The book itself was very well paced. I forgot to explain what it's about. Basically, you have the Bantrys, Colonel Bantry and his wife. They go down one morning for breakfast or whatever to the library, and they find a woman dead in front of the fireplace in her best clothing, dressed to the nines for a party or something. Clearly she didn't get to the party, but yeah, she's there. They call the police, they call Miss Marple. Shenanigans happen, mysteries are solved, and overall, like I was saying, I think the pacing was really good. It's a very short read. I can't say it's a quick read necessarily. It is a little bit slow for a lot of the book, but towards the end it really does pick up. But overall, yeah, I'd say the pacing was good, the story was good, it was all very cohesive, very understandable. If you're not huge on mysteries or on really conceited, complicated mysteries, this is a good book for you. I would go with a solid 4 out of 5 on this one. Yeah, 4 out of 5. There's really no explanation for it. I liked it. I have a couple complaints, but overall, 4 out of 5. Great book. Highly recommend it. Aside from that, I'd say I'm pretty much done talking for the night. I've said all I've needed to say. I've done 2 small reviews, which is more than I've done in the last couple months. And I think that's really all that needs to be said for now. I can't really end this episode saying, oh, you guys just wait, I have something huge planned, or I have something super special planned for the holidays, or for my, 1-year anniversary. But I am reading The Master and Margarita by Bulgakov now, so as soon as I finish that, I will be posting an in-depth review of that, which might not be for a while, because it is taking me a while to read, but, just keep that in the back of your mind. Hopefully, I will get some kind of miscellaneous lit-related episode out soon. I'll do my best, but again, be patient with me. This may or may not be a terrible time for a comeback, because we are about a week away from entering final season here in the semester, but I will do my best. I really do want to come back in full and just talk to you guys and continue reviewing books, because I genuinely have so much fun with this. But with that, thank you all so much for listening to this episode of Mothman's Bookshop. I hope you've enjoyed this week's episode. If you did and would like to know when the next episode comes out, do yourself a favor and follow the podcast. And if you have any questions or recommendations, feel free to use the form in the description or join the Discord. Once again, my name is Nicole, and I'll see you sometime here in Mothman's Bookshop.